You've tuned in to the Top 10 Gardener with garden expert Ken Lain. Join him daily as he answers timely garden questions that are sure to make a difference in your gardens. Now, welcome your host, Ken Lain.
And we are back with Lisa Waters Lane in the studio. She comes each week and we just give her the airwaves for 10 minutes straight. Keep on talking. Make sure there's no lags, no voids, but anyway, Lisa comes in to share her different perspective. Let me help you out with that. There we go. Microphone won't give you any grief.
It wants to sag down.
Well, we don't want saggy microphones. Kind of like we don't want saggy plants. We don't want saggy microphones.
I thought you were going to go somewhere else.
Where? What are you talking about?
I'll let it go.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Yes.
To our Jewish friends, blessed Hanukkah. Everyone else, Merry Christmas. It is winter solstice coming up. It's like the peak of the holidays. Lots of parties.
21st? Is it always on the 21st?
Yeah, always. Kind of spring always lands on the 20th, 22nd, 21st. Yeah. Summer's always, I think, June 22nd, 23rd.
Somewhere in there.
When fall's always September 23rd, 23rd. Yeah, pretty much.
But
if in doubt, Amazon. When is Christmas? When is Alexa? I'm sorry, Alexa. When is? Boy, it shows you how good I am with AI or talking smart homes. Not very, honey.
I don't know.
What do you got before I embarrass myself?
Okay. Well, this week we have unloaded, I don't know how many pallets of pottery.
Oh, yeah.
So we got our first load of our new spring pottery in.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Even though it's winter, we have spring pottery.
Got a front load.
So just the guy, they've been unpacking it. Kinsey, the guys, Eric, Chris, just unloading it. They wrap it. So, I mean, it's just like intense.
So it doesn't break.
Oh, I know. You want it that way. But it takes a while to undo it. So they've been working on that. It's really fun to see new colors, new styles. It's just fun.
It is style, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Pottery. This is 2024. It's the pottery for this spring. And the styles change each year. The color tones will be different. The textures will be different, and the patterns, the layering of colors will be different. So you'll see. And I came in, I purposely stayed away because I unloaded the truck. It kills. I'm an old man. I don't want to do that. It's hard. That's for young people. I came out like half the parking lot is like pottery. Everywhere.
Yeah.
I went, oh, sure glad I got that one. Missed that one. Well done, team, by the way.
Yes,
hey, if you're tuned in, you guys are awesome. You're working it.
And I would say if you're looking to buy sets, so 3 different sizes, 4 different sizes in the same style, same color, now is the best time to do that, because what'll happen is we get more into the season, people pick 1 or 2, or they want 2 big pots, and then you don't have the big pot to complete your set. So now's a really good time if you like the sets of pottery. It's a great time to be looking for that.
If I get in trouble towards the peak of spring, so Mother's Day, post Mother's Day to July 4th, it's still crazy busy at the garden center. And so by then the pottery is starting to be, it's hard to restock. You have to order this stuff by semi-load. So you're getting hundreds upon hundreds of pots, and then you can't go and get more until you can fill that semi up or container to bring it over. So people are going, I want 2 matching, I want them identical, same color, same size on either side of my door. And went, well, we don't have it. Our time was back last winter and early spring, not post spring, summer. That's not your time. Your peak time is now. And I think people get confused. They're thinking that pottery is not as popular here as it is other places. It's more so because anytime you try to dig a hole here, it's impossible. So people transition to containers quite often because it's so easy to grow in them.
Definitely. That was one of my points. And the reason to have pottery. No, it's excellent because it is a challenge to dig a hole here. And so putting it in a container, you can grow so many things in containers. Why not? It's a lot easier than trying to dig a hole in granite sometimes. So definitely worth it. A few other reasons I had listed to bring pottery into the yard. One is it brings color to your house and your yard, especially this time of year. You look out and you're like, oh, A lot
No
of things have
flowers.
gone
It's the
dormant.
green.
There's
No flowers.
green, but there's not a lot of color. So really nice to have some pottery out there that brings in that color, gives you something to look at besides dormant plants.
Some of these pots, they're pieces of art. I mean,
Mhm.
truly, they're so beautiful. You almost don't want to plant in them because they're, in fact, some of them we don't plant at our house, urns and stuff. We just have them as pretty,
Yeah.
pretty pots. Or we
Right.
might set a cachet bowl on top of it, but
Mhm.
not plant in it just because it's so pretty. I don't want to.
Right.
I don't know what we're thinking. We own a garden center and get another one. It's like, but no.
Yeah, it works.
Yep.
The other reason is you can use pottery to define a space. So if you're doing outdoor rooms, patios, seating, you can use that pottery to define your space, to
Yeah.
kind of use it around the perimeters. It just really helps. If you have a really big space, it narrows it down. So it
Yeah.
doesn't feel so open and out there.
We use ours we have this huge patio. It's the entire length of the house. It's
Mhm.
big. It's got fire pits and hot tubs and barbecues and so it's long, but we didn't want a railing up there but there's a grade, so it's like the patio, and then there's like a 7-foot drop. We didn't
Yes.
want grandkids hurling themselves over, and so we put pottery and some
Mhm.
decorative furniture up and grew
Mhm.
some plants, and now it's beautiful and safe. We're growing roses and all kinds
Mhm.
of big things
Oh,
out there,
yeah.
but they're stunning.
Mhm. Definitely, yeah. So you can define areas with it. Also good for entryways.
Oh yeah,
A lot of these big homes have these ginormous entryways now, which is they're spectacular. They're beautiful, but they're almost too big, too overwhelming. And getting a selection of pottery in there just kind of makes it more warm as you walk into
yeah.
the home.
That's our niche. Because no one, you can't go down to Walmart and buy a nice big pot for $1 million house. It just, they aren't big enough, and plastic, it
Mhm.
just ain't going to do it. It's got
Yeah.
to be beautiful, and
Mhm.
it has to be to scale. And then you plant in it. So
Mhm.
big resort size or big, large home size
Mhm.
pots, it's kind of a strong point for us. And then
Right.
everything down below, of course, house plants, that kind of stuff.
I was
But
going to
pretty.
say we have a really nice selection of
Yeah.
indoor houseplant pottery, but sometimes can be a little, a little weird in some of the box stores. But we have really rich colors, the blues, the grays, the blacks, some really nice kind of, I always call them the 70s colors
That's
that are
in.
coming
Yeah,
back.
70s, early 80s. That's
Yeah,
in.
it's definitely coming back. And they are actually very well done, beautiful
Yeah.
colors. And so nicely to put your house plants in. It just ups the level of your
If you
indoor.
have a new home, you don't want to run down and get that leftover pottery from the big orange or blue box.
Mhm.
What you want to go down to where the interior designers are shopping for their pottery for their clients, and that's at Waters Garden Center, because they
Mhm.
know when the cycles are and the styles and the colors, and they're trying to match tones and that kind
Mhm.
of stuff. And now I can't believe you got the best interior
Mhm.
selection I've ever seen. It's like, but
They really
houseplants
do.
are big.
Mhm.
New homes are in. So it goes
Right.
for apartments, it goes for houses. It's just,
Yeah.
it goes in any place you live.
And you and Kinsey actually went and picked out
Yeah.
this pottery. So it wasn't like picking a picture out of a magazine. You actually
Yeah.
go see the colors, because you know how it is, like when you buy a dress and you're thinking, oh, I gotta love that color. And then you get it and you're like, that's not the color it was in the
Yeah, that's
magazine. So
right.
you guys actually went and looked at the
Yeah.
pottery, felt it, touched it.
Size, the thickness,
Size.
the weight, was the value there.
Mhm.
And we're not shopping by, we need the cheapest one. We're looking
Right.
for, I've never seen that. Oh my gosh, they're going to love this. I can't believe Prescott's going to have this. If we get excited and giddy about it, we figure our customers will too.
Mhm.
And so we're going for styles
Right.
and quality. And then you shop price. So it's
Mhm.
inverted. So we're going for that, but you got to have the right price too. But
Right.
so many times at box stores, it's only about price. You get what's left over. If we're done picking out of the warehouse, what's left over, it goes down to the wherever those things
Right.
go.
So it's a good time to look at pottery. You can still plant. If you get a
Yeah.
nice pot for outside, you want to put a nice evergreen in there,
Yeah.
you can certainly do that. The pot will take it, the plant will take it.
Yeah.
Make your home pretty for the holidays. You bet.
Yeah. You should mention to folks there are different grades of pottery.
Mhm.
And so we are only specializing in the ones you can garden in outdoors with your pots.
Mhm.
So it's got to be a thicker and heavier and higher kiln. It's got to have fired. So anyway, we are out of time. Thank you, Lisa, on the next year's pottery. Appreciate that. Ken and Lisa Lain, the Mountain Gardeners. Be right back after this.
Look, if your wife, mom, or dad wants an ugly sweater for Christmas, get them a sweater, not some piece of plastic.
But if someone you truly care about loves their garden, a gift card to Waters makes perfect sense.
Next spring, she can pick exactly what she was hoping.
We all know it's not the same as a huge flower basket or fragrant rose, but hey, it's winter. Gardeners understand.
Waters online gift cards are found at top10plants.com or at Waters Garden Center in Prescott. You're listening to garden expert Ken Lain, owner of Waters Garden Center in Prescott. Look for more tips, tricks, and garden shortcuts through Ken's website. Additional shows of this podcast, read his weekly garden column, or follow him on Facebook, Instagram at watersgardencenter.com. That's Waters with 2 T's, gardencenter.com.